Ready to go when you are.
Imagine being able to run your hand through the water and seeing magical light dancing at your fingertips like sparkling glitter. Although this sounds like something out of a fairy tale, it is actually a natural occurrence and can be experienced in a handful of bioluminescent bays around the world. With new technology, scientists are just now being able to understand the rare phenomenon that occurs in bioluminescent bays. I'll educate you of bioluminescent bays by explaining how they work, where they occur, and why they are rare. Let me first begin by explaining what bioluminescence is. Bioluminescence is lighting that sea creatures use to lure prey, attract sexual partners, and deter predators. There is one physical process that occurs in all bioluminescent creatures. According to research from Edith Witter, a deep-sea biologist who was featured in the article Splendor in the Dark by Jack McClintock and Discover magazine from an article in 2004, this occurs through a simple conversion of chemical energy to light energy. This happens when electrons are pushed up by two chemicals reacting together, which causes it to oxidize, moving the electrons up into higher orbits that decay and produce a glow. The resulting light is blue-green, as the red light range is quickly absorbed in seawater. The light of a dinoflagellate, which is pictured, is just 1/10 of a millionth of a watt and lasts 1/10 of a second. So second, I would like to explain where and when bioluminescent bays are able to be experienced. As Cheryl DeVos explains from her in-depth research of ecologist Ricardo Pullen Rivera, biobays are among the rarest and most fragile of ecosystems in the world. They occur from when large numbers of microorganisms congregate in a lagoon from the incoming tide with an opening narrow enough for the organisms to not escape. They feed on vitamin B12, which is produced by red mangrove trees, so that is their primary food source. And they glow bluish green when any kind of motion disturbs the water. So they don't glow on their own, they glow when you touch the water or anything moves through it. And this is not yet fully scientifically understood, but you may be wondering, why do they glow? First, I'll begin by explaining a National Geographic traveler who describes his experience in the lagoon, Greg Brining, describes it as, I plunge below the surface and creatures glitter before my eyes like electrically charged fairy dust. To see a globe as bright as he described, the biobay would have to have 700,000 dinoflagellates per gallon of water. This tiny burst of light they give off is measured 100 times over their size, and they burst into light when they feel pressure against their cell wall, which is thought to be a defense mechanism. The strength of the glow is affected by having more sunlight during the day and is best seen at night when the moon is not shining very bright. So why I chose to inform on bioluminescent bays is because I have experienced it when I traveled to Puerto Rico, Mosquito Bay. I was first skeptic about it because when I looked at the travel websites, all the pictures are actually digitally edited because the real occurrence cannot be captured on regular film. So I had a trip out to the lagoon. You have to kayak through the mangroves, which you can see, and you have to do it in the pitch black because you can't see the glowing organisms during daylight. So they're about 10 feet wide, and it took about an hour of kayaking in the black to get out to the lagoon. But once you got out there, it was just the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. Like, the pictures don't even do it justice because it does glow blue, but it also just looks like sparkling glitter. It's really cool. So lastly, I would like to inform why there isn't widespread knowledge of bioluminescent bays and the reason for their rarity. It is a very unique and rare ecosystem, which there's only a handful worldwide, and mostly are known just in the Caribbean. Many have ironically formed from unintended bombing of the U.S. Navy during World War II, which includes Humaco Biobay, which is also in Puerto Rico, which was formed after U.S. Army Corps built channels to protect the town from flooding, which allows the seawater to flow into the lagoons and the organisms to be trapped in the lagoon. Says biologist Mike Baron-Diaron, it is ironic, but large military bases have actually helped preserve natural areas. So this unique environment is not yet fully understood, and it is hard to know how to preserve the ecosystem. But one thing they're sure of is that mangroves are the microorganisms' primary food source and are constantly being destroyed. They've been previously classified by the government as wastelands or useless swamps and have been destructed by human activities such as overharvesting, freshwater diversion, oil spills, herbicide and human waste runoff, and mainly widespread dredging and clearing of the mangroves for development of tourist resorts. So this habitat has unfortunately been destroyed and biobanks are kind of disappearing, but they're trying to find a way to save them. So bioluminescent bays are one of nature's most fragile but dynamic wonders of science. Occurring only in the tropics and semi-tropics with the right ecosystems, we must be careful that they do not become extinct. Mankind has been able to manufacture neon and fluorescent lighting, but in no way can that compare to the naturally occurring beauty of bioluminescence.